My emotional wave used to feel like a curse, but this one thing turned it into something powerful. So, hi, I'm Trisha Edwards, and if you're like me, a generator in human design, and you have emotional authority. So let me show you where that is. It's if you have this one defined, this center right here at the solar plexus, and you don't even have to be a generator. There's lots of different. I have manifesting generators as well as manifestors in my life that have emotional authority. And it feels like such a drag that you got to write out that emotional wave. And technically, in theory, by human design, is you write out the wave before you really make your decision. And I have trusted this because I've done little tests where something will happen and I feel so confident in, say it's a yes, whatever my choice is. And then the next morning I wake up and it's like, oh no, it's a whole different thing. And then later in that afternoon, I get to a different place and it's something a little bit different. This wave is freaking real, and it's harder to trust your decisions until that wave is kind of mellowed out. And so where you don't feel so excited or you don't feel super low. And that's the key. So you're looking at your wave, right? So if you have your wave, if you're in here or here, don't answer. You don't have your answer. What you're looking for is when you are more in this, in the middle of it, somewhere in the middle. That's what you're looking for before you actually give your answer. And oh my gosh, you can imagine what a drag that is. I don't want to drag my feet on certain things, right? And so learning this wait to respond strategy, if you have that, because you have emotional authority or let's wait to respond is the generator on here. It's more than wait to respond. It's really like delay, wait for clarity, I guess is probably the better choice for the authority on here. So wait for clarity, we'll call it that. It's kind of like wait to respond, but I don't want to confuse that with the strategy here. But wait for clarity. Let that emotions mellow out a little bit, balance before you start making your decisions. And I really felt like, ugh. So there's a couple things that I have done that have really helped me, but then there's the one thing that really put it over the edge. One of the things that I do is one. You know what? I've got 4 gates defined in here. I just welcome and feel it. I'm going to have this emotional wave whether I want it or not. So why don't I just enjoy it? And so I enjoy it like a movie. So I think of it sometimes like that. Like, oh, I'm in the middle of my own epic film. So I'm going to feel the low so that I can get to the high. And then it might be a low. And then it's just going to work out, sort of thing. So that's what I use for that. That was always really helpful. But that just helped me to enjoy the ride. The ride still was the ride. But here's what I did. This is the one thing that really helped me. So I'm getting ready to make a decision. And you know what? I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to just look at you while I'm doing this. So because sometimes there's decisions I can wait till the wave runs out. Totally fine. Not in a hurry to do it. I move a little bit slower because of that. And I'm totally cool with that. I'm not interested in moving fast and hustling anyway. Fits within my lifestyle. But then there are times where I want to be able to go a little bit faster for whatever reason it is. It might sometimes, often has to do with my son, that I don't want to be delaying those kinds of decisions. In my business, I'm okay with, waiting a day or even a week to make sure I'm solid in what my decision is. But things with my family, we move a little bit faster, and I don't want them to feel delayed because I am delayed. So, and nobody else in my family that I live with, not my husband or my son, they do not have the emotional definition. So they do not have this authority. They don't have a wave that they have to go through in order to get clarity on their yes and no. And that's really all that we're doing, is we're writing out our wave to get the clarity on the yes and no. But here's the thing with emotions. They move through your body, and you can ignore them, and that wave's going to last a lot longer. you can feel them. Like I said, I'm going to enjoy them like the movie. I'm going to let them be here, and oh, here we go. We're going to dip down, Now I'm the underdog. Now I'm going to rise up, that sort of thing. You're still going to move through them, but it's not necessarily going to speed it up. It'll be faster than ignoring them, but it's not going to be faster. It'll be more enjoyable. So here's the one thing that I started doing. Oh, I'm going to be making a decision, and I can tell that I'm a little bit, I'm really excited about it, that I'm really feeling this. And I've had that before where I get really excited. And then the next day it's where like, I just don't really know. I don't feel that great about it, and that's how mine normally starts off. So when I'm really excited about it, it's like, ooh, okay, first thing I'm going to notice, I'm really excited about this. So second thing, do I need to make this decision right now? And if it's something that, I want to be able to come to a decision faster than later. I don't want to write this out for a few days or a week. I want to do it today. I want to make the decision today. So then I do some sort of somatic practice. My favorite one is to tap or pat your arms, your legs. That's the fastest way to calm your nervous system. It helps you to move emotion through. I also like to do shaking. So sometimes I'll do a little bit of tapping. I'll do a little bit of shaking because it moves emotion through your body. The other one that I'll do a combination of things because I'm moving this emotion. Sometimes even going for a walk can help, but going for a walk can help, but you can get there faster with these other things. And I'm talking about speed. So I might have to go for an hour walk in order to feel like, finally, feel like I'm back to kind of normal. I'm not in that total excitement anymore. These you can do like within like about a minute here, shaking. You can then hold yourself and give yourself a big hug and squeeze your arms for like another minute. You can do a little bit of breathing, or my favorite one is while I'm patting, I'll hum. And that helps emotion move because you got movement in your body, right? And the humming calms you and lets you know that you're safe. The shaking gets out any extra residual energy, and the hugging becomes comfort, kind of settling you back into just being in that, what they might call rest and digest. And that's where we want to end up. So you might be in that excited emotion because it's something that's exciting. You want to decide on it. Or you could be in a really low emotion because you're like, I don't want to have to deal with this. I feel crappy about this. Doing the patting awakens your body. Shaking gets out any of the extra energy. Coming in, giving yourself you love and that support. Do some humming while you're doing all of this. And then, maybe even like a couple breaths if you feel like that. And then you're going to feel, I don't even know if you notice this, but just because I just did these few little things, my voice dropped down. I'm not talking at as high of a register. And my pacing of my voice is slower. I'm always amazed. Whenever I make these videos and I do one of these in the videos, I always notice this. But not as it's happening, but afterwards. And it might end up amping back up here, but that's the power of how you can resettle and calm yourself. Because when you're all excited about, oh, this is so good, I want to make this decision right now, but I don't know if it's the right one. Am I just in my wave? Or if you come in from the low, same kind of thing. Doing this helps you to let's reset. We've moved through a lot of stuff, and then you can ask yourself, can I make a decision right here? Do I feel super amped about it? And if that's the case, maybe you need to cycle back through. Or do I feel really sad about it or frustrated by it? Maybe you need to cycle through and do it again. But you can get there a lot faster. You can shorten it to a few hours compared to a few days or a few weeks. And so this is the one thing that I've been doing to shorten that wait time, that wait for clarity, to ride your emotional wave before you make your decisions, to get your yes and your no.